Hi, I'm Jeffrey Kirk. About a month ago or so, I showed you an analytics report that had bad referral data in it. If you haven't seen that video, revealing the poor job of an SEO company, I'm including that link below. You'll also see a link to a post from a few weeks ago when I showed you how to eliminate the referral spam from your analytics report. Now, in today's video, I want to show you another form of analytics spam and show you how to get rid of it. Today I am talking about ghost visits. What are ghost visits? These show up in your analytics reports as actual visits to your site, but yet no one ever showed up. And unlike referral spam, which fakes a source but could still visit your site, there is no such visit here. It only looks like there was a visit. So how does this happen? Well, you know you have a snippet of Google Analytics code that you have to put in your website in order to collect the analytics data. The only difference between my code and yours is the tracking ID number. So if I change the tracking ID on my site to your number, suddenly all my website traffic would show up on your report, even though the visitors were to my site. Now if I did this, I would be upset because I wouldn't be able to see my own numbers, so no legitimate website is going to do that on purpose. But let's say I want to inject some data into thousands of analytics accounts to draw attention to my own business. I could set up a private web server, put in the Google Analytics code, and then randomly change the ID number with each visit. Then I have the computer trigger the visits. Suddenly, and very quickly, I could make a big impression across many different businesses. Of course, I would have no idea if one of those sites is yours. But if I'm doing this, and thousands of others are too, then we're collectively going to impact many sites over and over again. The good news is that there is a very easy way to set up a filter to block this type of fake visit. When we blocked referrals, we had to keep making a longer list to stop new traffic sources. We don't know the source until it starts appearing in our logs. Fortunately, this time, we have to set up a filter based not on the source, but on the destination. On a web server, the destination, the site that is showing to the visitor, is called the host. Since the spammers are picking random tracking ID numbers, they have no idea what host is involved. They do not know your website address, so they cannot know your host name. Instead, what shows up is either their own host name or something generic that they decide to use. Typically, they'll pick something like google.com, or they'll leave the host name empty. If you did not install your tracking code on google.com, then there's no way google.com would be the host for visits to your website. In this case, all we have to do is tell our analytics to only accept data from our own host. All other data contains the ghost visits. In one quick move, we eliminate all the ghost visit spam with no future adjustments necessary. So let's go to my computer and I will show you exactly what to do. As I mentioned, most analytics spam seems to come in the form of ghost visits. That means that your analytics tracked someone coming to your site who never actually showed up. To see this, start on the main Google Analytics reporting page. Go to the Audience menu and click on Technology. Then click on Network. So this shows all the computer networks that have accessed your website. This information is okay since we expect people to visit from many different service providers. To see the ghost visits, we actually want to come up here and click on Hostname. Anything you see here on this hostname list that is not a legitimate URL of your website is a ghost visit. So in this case, here are two ghost visits that are not set, so we don't even have a host name. And then there are two others that are just coming from a specific IP address. To show you how abundant this can be, I'm going to pull up an old report for Chocolate University Online. Okay, I'll come down here to Technology, Network,
Click on hostname. And now you can see here the first two are legitimate. They're both chocolateuniversityonline.com. But then not set, 79. And this is just in a 1 month period. This one, forwebmasters.org, 10 visits. And a few others here with just single visits. So these 91 visits to the site during 1 month represent 4.4% of all visits during the month. Now that's not a huge impact in this case, but I've seen examples where the bogus data is more than 50% of the sessions. One site I looked at recently, 85% of the data was unnatural, with ghost visits from unwanted host names. The solution in this case is to block all data that is not generated within your own site. By doing this, you're effectively eliminating all of the ghost visits. So this site, Chocolate University Online, has filters applied now, so I'm going to go back to the other site to show you how to do it. To eliminate the ghost visits, you can add a filter to your Google Analytics account, and it's rather easy to do. You can just follow what I'm doing step by step. But one warning before I show you, if you make a mistake in the filter, you could block all analytics. Your reporting would vanish. Therefore, be cautious and careful when making the changes I specify. Okay, so to add the filters, go to Admin, and then to the third column. And we'll click on Filters right here. Your site will have no filters to begin with. This one has one that someone else already set up. But just click on Add Filter. And in the filter name, you give it a name that tells you what it does. I always type in only include site host name because this filter is going to eliminate everything else. So I'll do that here. And then under the filter type, click on Custom. And in this case, scroll down to where it says Include. And the filter field, select hostname. And then in the filter pattern box, type in your domain without the W's. So for example, this website that I'm working on right now is www.psccouplings.com. So I can put psccouplings.com in the box. Now, in the event that your analytics is actually tracking more than a single domain, for example, if you have a shopping cart hosted somewhere else and they told you that you can take your Google Analytics code and put it in that shopping cart and have analytics track it all as one, then you have to filter more than one domain. And this filter pattern box will accept 2 or more domains. To do this, all you would do is use the vertical bar as a separator. So not commas, but just the vertical bar. It's sometimes called a pipe, and you put that between the domain names. So that's the shift of the backslash. And then you would enter the next domain. For example, nextdomain.com. Something like that. And you could have another one if you wanted to. Third domain, and so on. But we don't need that. Just go back to pscouplings.com. When you have it in, go down here where it says verify this filter and click that link. This is going to show you what happens as a result of your filter. So here, before the filter is applied, it shows the host name was not set. There were 2 sessions there and 2 page views. And now after the filter, this host name is not going to show up at all. So that is exactly a good representation of what we want. So all is well. Now if we discovered we made a mistake, so if I came up here and typed in pscouplings.cm and hit verify again, you can see it will drop pscouplings.com off the list. And that would not be desirable. So then I could come up here, add the .com back, and test one more time, and it all looks good. When you're ready, click Save. And now this filter shows up. Only include the site host name is an include type filter. If you ever need to delete them in the future, you can come back here and click on Remove.
A couple more comments before I leave you. First, these filters prevent the data from entering your Google Analytics reports. That means you have to be cautious. If you make a mistake in a filter, and block good data, there is no way to get it back. So, to be extra careful, create a separate view instead of editing the all website data view. Doing this is the recommended best practice, which can save you from unintended consequences. And finally, keep in mind that these filters will not remove the data from previous reports. They stop new data from being added. When you run reports with dates after you add the filters, they will be clean. But any reports that include old data will still have old bogus data. Well, that's it for now. I hope this helps you keep your analytics data clean. Be sure to subscribe to my webpage or the YouTube channel so that you're notified when new posts are published. Oh, of course, if you enjoyed this post, please like it or share it on your favorite social platform. And have a great day.